It triggers the action and delivers the payload. Payload is nothing but the data which need to be updated into the store. Means yesterday we saw a cycle like, so we usually have a store and state and actually view. View is nothing but your component. And what else? We will have a reducer. So data is present in which location? Store. This data is collected by state. And that data is displayed in the view. View is nothing but the component UI. Whatever changes are there, the changes are updated and sent to reducer. What reducer will do? It will deliver the new data into this store. The data that which is delivered to the store, that data is called as payload. Payload refers to the data which is delivered to the store. So what is advantage of maintaining in a store? What is the key point about this store? Store is global. Store is global. And the store is at application level. Application level state. So that any component in the application can access and use. That is the main advantage of using this reducer. Yesterday, the flow I explained, according to the flow we need to implement. Yesterday, I explained the flow. According to the flow we need to implement. What is the flow? First, we have to create a slicer. Then we have to create a reducer. Then I told you about provider. We have to mention the provider and we can access and use the store from any location. That process I will show how to implement in a project. Have you done that project? Video library project, anyone completed? The complete scenario? Login, register and watching the videos. So if you have finished, then in that how to implement one concept I will explain here. Already in another project we implemented it. I will post that project as I told you, shopping related. So in our existing project, this is the existing project. Let's open our project that we created, React TypeScript app. And in this, let's, yesterday we installed Redux. Okay, so yeah, CD server and node REST API.js. Make sure that the API is running. Okay. Now let's run the project also. NPM start. Actually here I haven't implemented complete. I given that job to you to implement. So then I will just show you ready-made implementation you put in your project, right? I will just, because you need to finish the project in order to implement this completely. So you cannot practice if you cannot, if you haven't done that project completely. So the process I will implement here. And you make sure that you created the complete project, and in that project you can configure it. So first what we have to do, you have to install the implementing, right? So I will give an example of this is Redux in a video library project that I am showing the process how to do. I already implemented in complete existing project. I will share with that project with you. I will share. Make sure that you completed the project, then you can implement it. First, what you have to do in that video library project, install Redux toolkit. Toolkit npm. So install redux.js redux.js/toolkit and react redux and save. That is the installing how to do. So after installing, where to implement this, we will try that. You design user login and the dashboard. I haven't designed in this project. I left it for you. Okay. I will directly access the user dashboard. User dashboard will give me the videos that user dashboard have the videos. In these videos, we will go to user dashboard, and for every video, let's do one thing. At the bottom, we will add a button here, and this button class name is bi some save is there, right? So here I will give an option like watch later. I am giving the button there, and the btn and btn primary or something. And for every video, the watch later button will be there. It is not downloading, just roughly I given that. So what is that watch later is? When user clicks on that, so it will be saved. You don't need to give the text. I will just keep the symbol. Okay. Now what this have to do is, it is going to save that in some location, so that we can put some icon somewhere here. That means we will put some icon here. That icon will tell that your saved videos. When user click, those videos must display. Whatever the videos he saved, they must display. It should navigate there and it should show those videos. But the point is how you can save this video in watch later list, right? So for that, first thing, now what is the data you need to maintain? That means in a global store, what is the data you have to maintain? Two details we have to maintain. One is the video, another one is videos count. How many videos are there? That means how many videos are in the saved list count. So what you do is here, you have to do this project, then only you can implement. Otherwise, you can't practice this, right? So first point is create a slicer in project with two details we need. One is with I will give as videos count, and videos. This is what type? Number type, and this is an array. It is an array of video type. So you need to create a slicer in the project with video content number. So actually this is the data that we need to store. That means it is the initial state with the initial state. Videos count and videos. And remember what slicer contains. Yesterday I given a syntax. Slicer is created by using a method called create slice. Create slice. We have to define create slice, and through create slice we have to create the slicer. And in the syntax I given, slicer contains how many details? Slicer name, initial state, reducer. Reducer contains what? Action. Actions are defined in the reducer. Let's create a slicer. I will put a separate folder here by name slicers. Slicers is the separate folder. In the slicers folder, so we will add a new file, that is a video slicer.tsx. Video slicer.tsx. That is the video slicer.tsx. So what you do here in this first point, add a new folder, slicers, into src. Next point, add a new file into slicers. So video slicer tsx. Video slicer.tsx. Same process I already implemented in that shopping example with shopping related state. Means what? I will upload today that project. Another project I will upload. Complete project with the documentation and code is also present. I will upload the complete one. You level by level read it and you try to design that. In that, what I have done is I created a store for cart items. That means what user can do, he can save the items in the cart so that he can buy later. You know, cart have favorites. That means what they do is, so you don't want to buy, but you want to save in the cart so that you can use later. Then what you need to do? You need to save them and you can later use it. That means they are not permanently stored. They are kept so temporarily. And actually, you know, when you save any videos for watching later or download, they will not be permanent. After a few days, they will reset. Every few days, they have to reinstall and reset. So this video slicer here, we need to configure. What in another project we have done, that is maintain the cart items and use those cart items so that you can watch those cart items later. I will upload that complete project. Yesterday I showed you already. Complete project zip folder also I will upload here. So we have a shopping project is there. Yeah, this shopping project is available. This shopping project I will upload. Okay, this project contains all the data. I will upload that GIF folder to you. You can try. Okay. Now, in that project and this project will have the same concept. That project code yesterday I explained. Let's take a means already notes is there. I will show you. This is a, I think, yeah, this is the shopping related. Yeah, this is shopping related project. In that, so we have a option. Yeah, here we are creating a video slicer. There we are creating a card slicer. In that project, we are creating a card slicer. What is the job of this card slicer? In the initial state, here we are having videos, and how many videos are there? Count. There they are having shopping items, cart items, and count. How many items are there in the initial state? And how to create a slice? We have to use the create slice method and the name, initial state, and reducer. There they will have an option like add to cart. Here we will have an option like save for later. Save for later, some method. Add to save. Add to save list or something we can define. And what it has to deliver, two details it should deliver. One is the video. Another one is it has to deliver another one. What is it? So that is length. How many items are present we need to define. That means in our project, what we have to do, constant. We have to define what? Initial state. Initial state contains two details. One is what? Videos. Videos is what type? Array. It is an videos array type. So, and another one is videos count. Videos count. It is what type? It is a number. Oh, it is a number type we have to define. So here it is an object. It just contains initially 0. That means we are initial state means we are configuring the initial value. It is an empty array and 0 count. That is the default option. Now what we have to do, we have to create a slice. Constant. So video slice is equal to. So we have to use the method what? Create slice. Create slice from Redux toolkit. You have to import that. And create slice method contains some details. What are the details? Name. The slice name. So what is the slice name? Some video is the slice name. And next it should contain initial state. Initial state. After that it should contain the reducers. Reducer contains an action. Yesterday I given the complete syntax. What is the action? Here in our case the action should be, what is the action? Add to save list. That is the action. What this action have to do? That means it should perform the functionality. So in that what they do, state and action will be there. So here also we have an state is any type and we have an action. And what action will do? Action type we need to define. That means it is going to perform what? So that means we have a collection called what? State from the state we can access what is that. So videos, into the videos we need to push. Videos is an arena, into that we have to push. What we have to push? The data coming from the list, and the data that is coming we call it as what? Payload. That means action will get a payload. That payload we will collect and push it. Payload is nothing but what? That means in the diagram already I showed you. Let's keep the diagram separately so that you can monitor that. That means now what we are doing here, we are creating a store. So we are creating a store. In the store, we are keeping two details. One is videos, another one is videos count. Two details we are trying to maintain in a store. And who is going to update that? That means what we have? We have a view. View is nothing but the UI, right? That means from the component, what user will do? User will click a button called add to save list, right? When user clicks add to save list, what is the data to be delivered here? Two details we have to deliver. That delivered data is called as what? Payload. What it will deliver? One is video, another one is count. Video and count is the payload that is stored inside that reference. Inside the reference. That means when user clicks add to save, automatically these two details must be delivered and saved. That's what we are configuring here. Okay, what is another one? Another one, state dot videos count is equal to what it is? State dot videos dot what? Length. Length will get the count, how many videos are present. So this is the slicer, how we create a slicer. Yesterday I explained the complete process. Now today we are implementing that here. So now what we are doing is we are creating a video slice, and this video slice is going to have two details to store in the application level. Videos, another one is count. Videos count. Now important, whenever you defined anything, you can access only in this module. I need to export this into another module. In interviews, if anybody asked you, like we can export a file, we can export a class, or we can export an interface. Can we export any variable or expression? In this case, two are present. In this case, two are present. What are those? Initial state, another one, video slice. If you will not export the video slice, then you cannot use it anywhere outside. So, and by seeing this, what you understand, this is an expression, function expression, na? So it is a function expression. Function declaration means directly we can write export. If it is a function expression, how you will export? That means how to export variables. You have to configure. So I will give a point here. So let's say, save this, yeah. That means what you need to do is, you need to export here. So this is the state configure, where we written here, right? You have to use export constant. So export constant, and what you need to export in this constant. That means we need to export a function called add to cart here, right? And it is an action from the cart slice, the action we have to access. So I will just give a simple definition like this. Uh, So here what you have to do, two things you need to define. I will copy that code that I written. This is the code. In this code, we have a slice and initial state. Now we need to configure here export. So here I will give a note. So you have to export the expressions configured in slicer. Configured in slicer. And how you export, already we have an export. I will copy that. So here we need to export these two. Okay. So what is that export? This is which slice we created? Video slice dot actions. And what is the function we have to export? Add to save list. And video slice dot what? Reduce. Video slice dot reducer. And what is this default? Already we learned in module system of JavaScript. What is that default? Without default, it is lazy loading. With the default, it is eager loading. In a JavaScript module system, already we learned. What is the first one? Lazy loading. That means it will load only when it is required. And this is eager loading, right? So we need to export these two things and define. So add to save list and video slicer. We are exporting these two. Okay. Now I will copy these two also here. So the question also I will give here. Can we export any constant, any variable or expression from module? So answer is yes. So syntactically export constant and the function name is equal to some reference name. Reference name we have to define. And what is default? What is the default export? This I showed you in the case of material UI also. In MUI, I showed you if you want only button to use, then what you can do, you can import only button. If you want multiple, then you can import all of them. So there, what is this is modular. Modular is it will import only what is needed for you, right? So default export, what is the point is it configures lazy loading. It configures lazy loading. Sorry, eager loading, not lazy loading. Eager loading. It configures eager loading. So it loads into memory and keeps the functions available available across requests. So if you don't finish the project completely designed, then you can't implement these examples. So try to finish that, right? If you finish, you can correctly implement that. Otherwise, it will be like half of knowing about it. Okay. Okay. This is the slicer ready. Slicer is ready. After that, next what you have to do is second point. After creating the slicer, third point is create a store. Create a store. So where you can input the slice and define the actions and define the actions with state. So you need to create a store. So here what you do is create a new folder by name store. Add a new file store.tsx. You have to do that. Right. Now in this store, what we do is actually in shopping example, we will configure the store with initial state. Same here also we configure the store with initial state. That means store contains initial values. What is the initial value? Video count is 0 and videos are empty. In shopping example, cart items are empty and cart count is empty. That is the initial state. Later it will be updated by the actions. That means what you have to do is in this project, we are adding store. Here I told you in latest version we changed. Earlier we used to have create store. So create store, configure store, two options will be there. We have to configure the reducers and define the reducers, right? What you have to do is actually you have to add a new folder in SRC, that is store. And in that one file, what is that? Store.tsx. In that we have to import. So we have to import. So what is it? Configure store. From Redux toolkit, we have to import configure store. Actually, old version used to have a create store. Even today, several examples on internet you will see create store. But remember, majority examples will not use toolkit. They will directly use a standard functions. In their official website also, it will be same. But we are deploying in a project, so we are creating separate. Slicer separate and a store separate. So how do we define this? We have to configure the store. So, and we need to import another one. We have to import what? So video slice. Video slicer, it is default now. So we have to import the video slicer. From the slicers, we have to import these video slicer and all. So here one more point I will give. What we need to do is write in this, where is ours? Right. So import one is configure store from toolkit. And it configures the store using reducer that updates data into store, that updates the data into store. So import the slicer that comprises of reducer. Reducer is in slicer, configure store is in, it is defined in toolkit. In the toolkit, you have configure store and we have slicers. Right. So here the code I will give here. So what we need to do, export default, what we have to configure store, we need to define. And what are the actions to be defined inside it? It needs a configuration. What are the configuration options we have here? So you can see one interesting word you will see here, tuple. Remember, right? What is a tuple? The store is all using tuples very much. What is a tuple? In TypeScript arrays concept, I explained about it. Na? What is a tuple? What is a tuple? Array and tuple. Tuple means it is a collection that allows initialization of any type of values and assignment of any type of values. Initialization any type of values and assignment of any type of values. So how to create a tuple? By using array meta character, not by using array constructor. If you create by using array constructor, what will happen? It will not allow to initialize different types of values even when the data type is any. These are very important interviews, because in your resume you mentioned that I have React with TypeScript knowledge. Then they will ask you questions on TypeScript, right? So this uses reducer, and reducer comprises of what? Store, and store uses a video slicer. It uses an video slicer. That's how we configure the store. Video slicer means video slicer have two things, na? What are those two things video slicer is having? Video slicer is having initial state with videos collection and videos count. It is also having action. What is the action? Action is add to save list. Save list. So actually, better I will give one more point here to understand. What is this is configure the store with a reducer. Store with reducer that uses actions and the state from slicer. That is now I will copy the code here. Store.tsx. This is the code. You have to import that. First step slicer, second step store. Third step. So number 4. Yeah. Now go to index.tsx and configure the provider that can access the store and use for application. So go to index.tsx and configure the store. In index.tsx provider, that means already yesterday we learned you need to configure the provider. Provider locates the store, gets the data of the store and uses it. So what you have to do, now go to index.tsx. In index.tsx, so you need to import. So you need to import provider from React Redux. You have to import the provider from React Redux. Be careful, there are so many providers for different services. That means cookie provider, context provider. Make sure that you are importing the correct provider, right? So here we need to add the provider. And actually this provider is expecting the store to use. So you have to import what store from the store. And this provider have to define the store. The store is coming from the store that you define. That means we imported the store. Store contains initial values. One is videos count, another one videos. Now what provider is going to do? Locate those values in the memory and keep in the store. Locate the values. That means actually this store contains two details. What are those details? Videos. Another one is what? Videos count. They are now globally available. Who is responsible for locating them? The locating is done by whom? Provider. Wherever they are present in application level, so they can locate and they can access and give it to the component. Any component can access. Just like you created cookie and provider is configured, any component can access the cookie. So similarly, now any component can access this store and you can use it. Okay, but who will update the data into store? Currently store is empty now. So I will give this code. Provider and store you have to import. And here you need to define this. Rest of logic will be as it is. You don't need to modify. Only this part I am giving how to define inside index.tsx. In index.tsx, you have to import this and configure. Now, from where you want to update this, that is actually managed by dispatch. So Next step, what you have to do, go to your videos, go to user dashboard and dispatch the action on button click and on button click. User dashboard and dispatch the action on button click. So it will send video details as payload to store. Video details as payload to store. And here important is use dispatch is used to dispatch the actions configured in application, actions configured in reducer. Actually, this already I showed you in reducer hook. Use reducer hook I showed you. In that use reducer hook, we have a dispatch method, action dispatch method. You need to practice all of them, huh? Because if you don't practice what we learned earlier, then you cannot relate to the current one. If you have practiced that reducer hooks, you already know dispatch, reducer, initial state, actions. All we learned these terms in that use reducer hook. Now, actually in shopping application, what we do, we will use an add to cart button. On that add to cart button, we will update. Here what you will do, save list. That means actually in that project already configured this is dispatch. You have to use dispatch. On click, we need to carry the data. That's what we need to implement. That means we have to import, use dispatch from Redux store. And on the click, you have to manage that. Dispatch is the method through which you can send the data. So here what we do is dashboard. Where is the dashboard? So video components in that user dashboard. In the dashboard, we need to import. So we need to import the dispatch option here. So constant what? Dispatch is equal to use dispatch. From Redux, we have to import that use dispatch. And we need to write a function. What is the function we need? So handle add click. Handle add click we need to define. What this handle add click is going to do? It is going to collect the data. Event arguments we learned. What kind of data it is going to collect? And it will dispatch that. Right? Actually, video related detail it should get. That means this add click is expecting a video. Video, it is of what type? It is of video contract type. You remembered we created a video contract. It should be video contract type. So, and what it should do is it should dispatch action. What is the action name? Action name is what? Add to save list. That is the action name. Into that, it is expecting payload. Payload is what? Video. That is what we have to deliver. That means into add to save list, it is expecting data. Add to save list is coming from slicer. That means we collect the video details and we'll send to add to save list. You can right click and go to definition and add to save list. You see add to save list is defined in action. Go to definition add to save list is expecting the payload. The payload is nothing but video. The video is pushed into what? Videos. And automatically the count is also updated into that. That is the process how it is going to work. On which button click this should work? Handle add click. Then how to write event, and we can send our own parameters. We have to write what? On click. On click, we need to configure a function. What this have to do? It should get what? Handle add click, and it is expecting a video. That video we already have here. We will send that. That means currently iframe is displaying video URL. Here we are displaying video title. That video related details we will send into this location. Now it is ready. So now the actions are configured and defined. Now what you do is you need to test this here. So what you do? So this is user dashboard dot what? TSX. It's a component. In this, the main highlight so is there, but I will copy this complete code. And if you already designed it, it is very good. I am copying that entire code. Okay. And here, rest of other concepts are related to our project. Here, the key concept is dispatch. And you have to define this handle click, collect the video and dispatch the video. Right. Now, how to test it? To test the Redux, here is download and install React Redux DevTools in your browser. In Chrome it is available, in Edge also it is available as extension. You have browser extensions. In the browser extensions, what you do is you search for React Redux DevTools, development tools. This React Redux DevTools, it is going to display, DevTools is going to display all the tracking information about what is happening in the state. What is the main point about this is it is predictable, it is debuggable, so that developer can easily know what is happening. What you do is, suppose I am using this Chrome, this is Edge. On this Edge browser, what I need to do is, I need to go to extensions. So here, React Dev Redux, Redux DevTools extension will be there. You search for Redux DevTools extension. This is for Edge. For Chrome, Edge, everyone it is available. You add this extension. You add this extension to your browser. Already it is added in my browser. So it will show you an add option. You can add this. Once you added that, now what you do is, this is the location where we are using it. Go to extensions. In the extensions, you select Redux DevTools. We select the Redux DevTools. The Redux DevTools, it will open the DevTools, and you can see that this DevTools is having a store. And the store contains two details. One is videos, another one is videos count. And currently these are empty. You observe the state. This is action. Currently there is no action. Action type is not recognized. Anything is not there. State have this. Difference. Difference means what? It will tell you what is the previous state, what is the current state. Developer can easily track the previous and current state. And you can see states are currently equal. That means the previous state, current state is equal. There is no change. It will even show you tracking. It will show you testing. That means it will give you all the testing related options so that you can test whether it is functioning properly or not. That is actually not your job, but I will show you how components are tested. One simple example. But testing is the special role of developers who are aware of testing frameworks. Actually, people learn testing frameworks like Jasmine, Karma, and Just. And not only that, some companies have their own testing tools. They use their tools and they test for testing web applications and all. So we will see just how to test by using Just framework. As of now, everything is fine. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's go to the video and click on the video. That means that video should be saved later. Okay, we will put a confirmation also better. Whenever in user dashboard they click it, we will put an alert, just a confirmation, video added to save list. Am I right? We are defining that. Now you can see, I will refresh this. Fine. Now I will go here. You can see that actually DevTools, these are currently empty. Nothing is defined here. Now what you need to do here is DevTools towards the right I will give. So I will keep it here. Now what is the point? Click on this button. When I click on that button, then it says video added to save list. Okay. Go to the DevTools and see. In the DevTools, you can see action. Action as an action called what? Add to save list. On add to save list, it collected a payload and it delivered that video. And observe carefully in the state. Now the data is present here. That means this is one video and this is the video count. It will show you the difference. Difference is previously it was 0 and now it is 1. It will keep the tracking if the tracking is available. That means it will show you where what is clicked. That means which action was clicked, when it was updated, all information it will show. So when it is updated on click, when the view is compiled, this is all required for the people who are involved in testing the application. So that is the reason Redux says that it is easy for debugging, it is easy for extending, it is easy for testing. These are not going to help to users. General people, they don't need what all this. This is only for developers. General people just need the data. Whatever data is there, they need the data. Now, how to access this and show? How to access the store and show anywhere? In store currently, how many videos are there? One video is there. How to see it? So if you want to view the store, then what you have to do is, so the last point I will give here, number 6. Huh? So to view the store and display in any component, you can import the store and access by using getter, by using a getter. Actually, store provides a getter and setter. Huh? By using a getter, you can access it. So usually we can access anywhere. I will show. So you put some icon at the corner, just like we designed cart items and all save, right? And you want to display, then what you do here, suppose you want to display something like, so we need to access the store. We have to import the store. Actually, store have get state, and you see get state is having two details. It is an what type? Object type. Object type means it have a store. In that we have a videos count. We can get that videos count and use it. That means how many videos are present in the save list. It should get that and it should display. One video is present. Now what is advantage is from anywhere you can do it. Any component can import the store and use it. And you update from any component, it will update there. And anywhere it will show it. So how do we access the store? Dashboard, that means here we are giving what? One saved video. That's what we are giving. One saved video we are displaying. And you can make that clickable. When user clicks, we can display that. How we can display? We can get the videos collection and we can manipulate into a table and show in a tabular form, right? Usually this is the saved video, one saved video. So how we can get that? We have to use a store dot get state. In that again store, in that we have to get the videos count. Or you have store dot get state. In that we have store in that videos. That videos is actually array. So you can monitor that here. So for example, you are clicking on another one, what it is saved, and go to extension development tools. In the development tools, you can see the state. Currently it is having two videos now. Videos count is 2, right? So actually we can store data in local storage like this. We can do it in session storage. We can do it in cookies. In interviews, compulsory they will ask this question. Then why you are going with Redux and using the Redux? Actually, when freshers attend the JavaScript skills of state management, that's the reason they ask. Because Redux like toolkits and all, you will not be involved in that every time. So majority for experienced people, this is important. But for fresher, if they have the knowledge of how it is managed and handled, that's very good, right? This is the concept of implementing Redux. I will upload another project with same. Already there, we implemented it. I will upload that entire project. You try that. In that project, the shopping related example is there. So once you can try, now we will learn about testing and deployment. Deployment, testing and deployment, Netlify, Firebase, AWS, Azure, so many cloud deployments are there. You can try any. We will see one example of how to deploy and testing and deployment that we'll see in next session. So with that, we can finish the concepts. All the points we will finish. The testing and deployment we will see in tomorrow's session. Okay, right.